Hello, I'm Elizabeth Bonker, Executive Director of Communication for All, a charitable organization with the mission to ensure all non-speakers with autism have access to communication and education. Thank you for inviting me to share my story with you at this groundbreaking event. The remarkable book, The Invisible Majority, by C.K. Meena and V.R. Feroce, has inspired my talk today. Approximately one-third of autistics are non-speakers who have been invisible, even in the autism community. You are hearing a computer speak my words because I am affected by autism and type to communicate. The same dysfunction of my motor system that prevents me from tying my shoes or buttoning a shirt without assistance prevents me from writing with a pen or moving my mouth to speak to you. Please don't think that I haven't tried to button my shirt or speak. I've had thousands of hours of occupational and speech therapy, but there is a problem with my neuromotor system. Just a few clarifications before we get started. When I say non-speaking, I include people who have minimal speech and those who may repeat words and phrases. And when I say typing, I include pointing to letters on a letterboard and pressing them on a keyboard. Please come with me on a journey into my world, and I will share with you how I gained access to communication and education, and the work we are doing at Communication for All to remove the obstacles that deny non-speakers these human rights. Millions of adults and children are depending on us to end the profound isolation they experience every day. You may have heard about my mission in my 2022 valedictorian commencement address from Rollins College. For me, I have a dream. Yes, just like Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. Communication for all. There are 31 million non-speakers with autism in the world who are locked in a silent cage. My life will be dedicated to relieving them from suffering in silence, and to giving them voices to choose their own way. That speech had 4 billion media impressions worldwide, and it propelled our mission for communication equality onto a global stage. We have a growing list of respected partners that have joined us in our mission, including IASC, the International Association for Spelling as Communication. IASC's founder, Elizabeth Vossler, is a university professor and speech therapist. Here she explains the evolution of our understanding of non-speaking autism.
Traditionally looking at it, we had a cognitive approach first, that there was an intellectual disability in people with autism. Then it's sort of switched into, well, there's a behavioral component to it, and there's avoidance or lack of motivation or lack of caring to do well, so we have to appeal at a behavioral level. But it's not an issue of I don't understand, it's not an issue of I don't want to, it's an issue of I can't make my body do it.
Keep it going, regardless, you're working hard.
So that's why a lot of these guys are not given credit for being as smart as they are.
I know you're working hard. I know you're working hard. I know you're just F-R-I-E-N and D. Because my body is not my friend.
Elizabeth Vossler often ends her talks with the observation that language is 100% cognitive and speech is 100% motor. We may repeat words, but they do not reflect what is going on in our minds. The young man at the end of the clip expresses the lived experience of non-speakers with autism. My body is not my friend. Science calls what he is experiencing dyspraxia. Dyspraxia in autism is well established in the scientific literature. The Spark study estimated 87% of people with autism have difficulty with planned motor movements. Hell, sometimes I can't even reach for a donut even though I desperately want one. Communication for All is working to break down the structural barriers that keep non-speakers without a means to communicate. We are reaching non-speakers in families and schools around the world. But before we go there, I would like you to better understand what it feels like to live in a silent cage. I did speak. I was born perfectly healthy. I met all my developmental milestones and said words like ball and dog. Then at 15 months, all of my words were suddenly taken from me, and I started to scream and bang my head on the floor. My parents took me to Yale Medical School and the doctors gave them the diagnosis, but no hope for the future. I started an intensive biomedical and educational program, but I still had no way of expressing even my most basic needs. At times, my frustration boiled over into self-injury. Yes, I started to hit myself, not a popular subject, but I want to dispel the myth that equates self-injury with intellectual disability. I struck myself because I was a thinking and feeling person locked in a silent cage. For more than a decade, I have tried to change the way the world sees non-speaking autism. First, writing poetry for my book in 2011, and more recently writing song lyrics for an album. I believe music opens the heart so the head will listen. In this song, I try to capture what it felt like before I could communicate.
Step inside my silent cage. Can't you see I'm on a stage? The world says I can't think. It's pushed me to the brink. They say I'm lost and dumb. The stairs say I'm less than scum. No voice, no choice, no thoughts, no brain. They think that I'm insane. Set me free. Please set me free. Free from anger and frustration. Free from boredom's cruel tick. Free from lowered expectations. Free from futures I can't pick. Free from dejection and rejection. Free from fits of smashing rage. Free from pity and despair. Free from my silent
My life in a silent cage finally ended when I was 5 years old. We found a courageous Indian woman, named Soma Mukhopadhyay, who had taught her own non-speaking son to communicate by pointing to letters. With communication, I was able to enter my local school, and public television did a story about my journey.
Because she can communicate, Elizabeth, accompanied by Terry, also attends a mainstream public school where she excels, especially in math.
Find the greatest common factor of 18 and 24. Good girl. You know the answer,
Her
huh?
teachers marvel at her performance and persistence.
She taught me about, patience, and I can't even begin to explain to you that I've probably learned more from her than I have from anybody in life so far.
Being in mainstream school was not easy, but these are the teachers who welcomed me with open arms. I have something personal I would like to share with you today. I am not special. Of course, my parents think I'm special, but please don't think my ability to type is special. Non-speakers around the world are showing us how capable they are. And to back up my claim, I would like to introduce you to some others who type to communicate. Meet Dan. He learned to type when he was 12 years old, and recently the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art made a video about Dan's breakthrough.
Once I learned to spell at age 12, learning and new discoveries poured in.
What was Dan desperate to tell his parents when he first learned to type?
Get me an education.
Dan graduated with honors from Harvard University Extension School. Meet Anshul. He started to type at 19. Last May, he graduated from an all-typer high school and plans to go to college. What does Anshul want you to know?
Non-speaking does not equal non-thinking.
And now, one more student. Alex was 25 years old when he learned to type. Do you know what he is eager to tell you?
It's never too late.
So many lives changed with communication. I would like to share with you what Communication for All is doing to give all non-speakers the opportunity to learn to type. Today we have two strategic initiatives, C4A Academy and C4A Schools. With C4A Schools, we are piloting typing programs with innovative public and private schools. Our partners train the school's staff to teach their non-speaking students how to type. C4A Schools creates beacons in the educational community that light the way for every non-speaking child to be taught to type when they enter school. On December 1st, Communication for All launched our global initiative. C4A Academy, a program of internet-based instructional videos to teach typing to non-speakers anywhere, free of charge. In every case, it would be preferable to have a live expert providing the coaching and training, but we know that is not financially and logistically possible today. The Academy is focused on families without access to private instruction. Here, I will share a couple of clips from the first series of episodes to give you an idea of how we are making the motor coaching process accessible. This motor training enables non-speakers to overcome their dyspraxia and learn to type. Welcome to C4A Academy. I'm Elizabeth Bonker, Executive Director of Communication for All. You will be hearing my voice and the voices of other non-speakers who type to communicate using text-to-speech software. Thank you for joining us to learn about how to teach a non-speaking family member to type to communicate. All of these lessons are available to you, free of charge. I am one of the lucky few non-speakers who was taught to type at age 5 and mainstreamed in public school. My mission is to give all non-speakers access to communication so they may be educated and live productive lives. Let's get started.
Hello, Elizabeth, Judy, and me, Ginny, want to welcome you to C4A Academy. We are going to try to do our best to show you how to teach your non-speaker with autism how to spell and type. So Judy is the practitioner. Elizabeth is an expert typer who's going to pretend to be in her first lesson. And I am a parent who is very nervous trying to make sure that I do the right thing and learning how to do this, and we want to help you.
I am excited to share my thoughts with you throughout these lessons. We stop the action like this so I can add a non-speaker's perspective to the conversation. This final clip will show you part of the lesson on coaching a parent on 3 stencils. I am thankful to my mother for leaving in her mistakes.
Question. Okay, so let's spell excellent. All right, here we go. All right, Elizabeth, bottom left.
Now, remember,
E.
you forgot your hand.
Oh.
Now the board is going to come up. Also, the board is too high.
Too high?
Remember, you're going to bring it down so that this middle section
Okay.
for the camera
Yes.
is bifurcated by the table. It's lower than people realize.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I will tell you that Elizabeth and I don't spell that low normally, so it's a little odd for me. But I get that that's what you want. So there you go. All right, ready? E. All right. All right, let's start again. All right, we're going to do this again.
I thought that was good because I was correcting.
Okay. All right. It's hard, Elizabeth, for me to do this right. Ready?
Don't forget.
Poor mom is not used to using 3 stencils and hand gestures.
Don't forget that.
You want to show them the hand prompt.
Oh, the hand prompt. Okay. So, Elizabeth, we're going to go down to the bottom shelf. Oh, I said the letter. You're not supposed to say the letter. All right. All right, ready? And bottom shelf. X. All right. I probably had that a little too high. All right. And now we're going to go. All right. Again, bottom.
It's the top shelf.
Oh.
Pull it up. You do what all the parents do.
Okay, what I do?
The word excellent has EXC.
Yeah, that's why they make sure you look at how to spell the word.
Again, see, let me point out what's happening right now. Ginny, who hasn't done this in a long time, she's rushing.
I'm rushing.
You're not sitting and thinking, where am I in the word?
Yes.
Let me look it down, see where I am. What am I going to say when I bring the board down? You're trying to get that board in front of her as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think this is so good for me to be so bad at this, to show you that I've been doing this for 20 years with Elizabeth.
It's hard.
And you know what? It just takes to be able to say, we're going to do it slowly, get coached by an expert, and get it right. All right, so sorry, Elizabeth, you must be frustrated with your old mom. Okay.
I love you, Mom, for keeping your mistakes in these videos.
Okay, so we're going to go with we have the E, we have the E and the X. Now we're going to go with the next letter. All right?
What are you going to say, Jenny?
We're going to say it's top shelf in the center, top shelf in the center. C, Elizabeth, very good. And then we're going to say bottom shelf and below. E.
Try it.
See how Mom is checking the lesson for the answer. You should do that too.
Try it in the beginning to use a lot of right and left.
Okay, all right, and now we're going to go in the center, top shelf, L, reset, and L. And now we're going to go bottom shelf
In the
in
left,
the left
corner.
left corner, E, bottom shelf to the left, N, and
See how the CP only says the letter after the typer has clearly selected it.
top shelf to the left, T. Excellent.
Coaching summary.
Excellent. All right, so what did I do right and wrong, Judy? Please.
Actually, that was much better. You went slower.
I went slower.
Okay.
Very
You gave
good.
more specific directions.
Okay.
Okay. You effectively used your hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
You did
good.
not move the board once the board was down, and you held it in an appropriate place.
Okay.
Okay, so that was really good.
All right. Thank you. Boy, I'm so glad I got that now. All right. This, again, guys, it may take you a couple of weeks or months, depending on
Absolutely.
what your child is facing, but don't give up. Elizabeth always says, don't give up.
Yes. Communication partners, please don't give up on coaching us to get to the letters. We need you to communicate. We are honored to work with local partners, including the All-Inclusive Foundation, to reach families in India using C4A Academy. We have already received valuable feedback about how to add to these videos and will be making more in the future so families can take their non-speakers to typing independently on a keyboard. I believe we are all here at this conference as a powerful evolution of the civil rights and disability rights movements. With our work, we stand on the shoulders of giants like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Helen Keller, and Judy Heumann. Judy, my cherished friend and mentor, passed away unexpectedly in March. Judy was known as the mother of disability rights for her 5 decades of leadership, and I am honored to carry our work forward. The blind have Braille and the deaf have sign language. Now is the time for non-speakers to have typing. We are changing the way the world sees non-speakers with autism with the award-winning documentary, Spellers. This film shows how spelling and typing dramatically changes lives. Go to the website spellersthemovie.com to see how you can view it. Here is the trailer.
Yeah. What if they've been wrong about every single one of them? What if they're all walking around without the ability to speak, but brilliant?
I am one of the lucky few non-speaking autistics who have been taught to type. That one critical intervention unlocked my mind from its silent cage, enabling me to communicate and to be educated. Our movement for communication equality is at a tipping point. There are now a growing number of typers worldwide, including dozens of college graduates. I am calling on all of you today that as you welcome non-speakers into your communities, you will help make them visible and help them get the communication and education they deserve. And what a more equitable and inclusive world it will be when non-speakers can fully participate in it. Please join me and more than 60 non-speakers as we celebrate our ability to communicate.
When I was a kid, this is what the doctors did. They told my mom, there's no hope for this one, but they didn't know. No, they didn't know. When I went to school, the teachers did the same thing too. I'm not lying, they said this one ain't even trying, but they didn't know what they didn't know, and what they didn't know was the truth about me. Sometimes I fear they don't understand that I hear and I know. The way they look through me, it just makes me want to scream. I am in here. I am in here. This is my voice. This is my life. This is my choice. This is my right. I am in here. Now that I'm grown, I realize I'm not alone. Millions like me who should be shining brightly, but they don't know how they can show how much they know and the truth they can see. You don't believe that we go to the extreme to be heard and to be seen. If you just walk in our shoes, I know that you'd scream the news. We are in here. We are in here. This is our voice. This is our life. This is our choice. This is our right. We are in here. We are in here. This is our voice. This is our life. This is our choice. This is our right. We are in here. We are in here. We are in here.
I would like to close with an excerpt from the Spellers movie and leave you with the same request that I made of my fellow Rollins graduates. I know something about shared achievements because I am affected by a form of autism that doesn't allow me to speak. My neuromotor issues also prevent me from tying my shoes or buttoning a shirt without assistance. I have typed this speech with one finger with a communication partner holding a keyboard. I am one of the lucky few non-speaking autistics who have been taught to type. That one critical intervention unlocked my mind from its silent cage, enabling me to communicate and to be educated, like my hero Helen Keller. The freedom to choose our own way is our fundamental human right, and it is a right worth defending, not just for us, but for every human being. God gave you a voice. Use it. And know, the irony of a non-speaking autistic encouraging you to use your voice is not lost on me. Because if you can see the worth in me, then you can see the worth in everyone you meet. My fellow classmates, I leave you today with a quote from Alan Turing, who broke the Nazi encryption code to help win World War II. Sometimes, it is the people no one imagines anything of, who do the things no one can imagine. Be those people. Be the light. Fiat Lux. Thank you. With communication and education, all non-speakers can be fully included in the neurodiversity community. Please join us in the mission for communication equality and spread the news about C4A Academy. Together, we can give non-speakers a voice and build a better, more inclusive world. Thank you.